This is why I winter sow instead of starting seeds indoors. Some of the seeds actually need cold to germinate. Today I will show you what I'm sowing and what I'm skipping. We'll go through what I will see today, how I label everything, and what I learned not to repeat ever again. I garden in a zone 6 and winter sowing has been the easiest and most efficient way for me to start seedlings without needing any space indoors or any grow lights. These bottles have already been prepared with soil and drainage holes. I created a video about the exact steps how to prepare the soil and how to prepare the bottles for this project. I will link it down below. So the first one I will be sowing today is actually collected from the garden. It is Allium Christophii. It is a really beautiful decorative allium and I think this is my favorite one. The flowers last year were like this big, you guys, and I'm not exaggerating, they were huge. These benefit from cold stratification, so winter sowing works really well for them. And just sprinkle the seeds wherever. I usually don't cover the seeds because I just mimic the natural way of things. I will just press them gently into the soil and I will water them slightly and that will be it. So what I learned from past experience is that if you write the names of the plants only on the bottle, it will be washed by rain and snow. So I will add an extra label to each and every bottle. So the next one will be the Globemaster alliums. These are also beautiful and usually they don't have a really high germination rate, but I think with the winter sowing it will be working really fine. So because of the low germination rate, I will sow lots of seeds. And just push them down. So these are the last ones. I found these at the grocery store this morning and I couldn't resist. These seeds are really small, you guys. If the soil is wet enough, you don't even need to water these. Or if you know that the next days will be a lot of rain, you just leave them there. So there are two plants I won't sow ever again with the winter sowing method, you guys, the delphiniums and the lobelias. The delphiniums are really beautiful plants and I really love them in the garden, but I will store them inside because they really need that pampering indoors, the warmth, your full attention and patience. These are really fragile plants. And the lobelias. The lobelias have such small seedlings, you guys, I don't have the patience anymore. But they seed themselves everywhere in the garden, so I don't even have to think about worrying about that. And that's really nice. So these are done, and I will move them outside in a sunny spot. I usually put them on the southern side of the garden because they really need that warmth and that light. Even without snow, cold temperatures and natural moisture are enough. I will just check occasionally to make sure they don't dry out. I started winter sowing a few years ago, and I do it every year, and I learned a lot from my own mistakes. The first one is the one I mentioned before, is labeling, you guys. Labeling is really important. Even if you think like I did, that you know the seedlings and you will recognize the species, you will be in for a treat in the next spring if you don't do this. Also, regarding labeling, it is not enough to write the name of the plant only on the bottle. It will be washed away by the rain and the snow. So, as I said before, I placed in each bottle one label. Another thing I learned is not to cover the seeds with a lot of soil, because that way they won't stand a chance to come up. Just push them gently into the soil and that's enough. And the last thing, the drainage holes. Drainage holes are really important, because especially for me, because I'm not here all the time. I'm not here during the weekdays, and if there's a lot of moisture or precipitation, then I won't be able to help the plants. So drainage holes are really important, especially in this period, and the seeds and the seedlings can die if there's too much moisture in the bottles. Winter sowing has saved me a lot of space and time and a lot of frustration. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comments. I'm really happy to help. Let's see how this season goes.